Hi everyone, welcome to this edition of Ask Starbase. I'm Sunny, and today's question is from Juan T. at Kingsbury School. His question is, if you took food from Earth into space, what would happen? Well, actually, many of the foods that we eat on Earth do go up into space. The big difference is the way the food is prepared. So the main problem with eating and drinking in space is that there's no gravity, right? So if you brought a bag of chips into space, what do you think will happen? The chips would drift around, not fall on the floor, right? So you would have crumbs from the chips that would potentially wreak havoc with the spacecraft's electronics. So in the early 1960s, when John Glenn was the first American astronaut in space, scientists weren't sure yet if people could eat, swallow, and digest food in a weightless environment. So they pureed the food and packaged it in tubes like toothpaste and sucked it through a straw. Now, if that doesn't sound good to you, you're not alone. The astronauts weren't crazy about it either. Now, the first time solid food was eaten in space was on the Gemini 3 mission, when astronaut John Young smuggled a couple of corned beef on rye sandwiches for him and his mission buddy, Virgil Gus Grissom. Virgil didn't finish the sandwich because the bread was producing too many crumbs, which once again can damage the equipment on board. So, needless to say, they did get into a little bit of trouble for that when they returned. Now, for the Gemini and Apollo space programs, scientists prepared freeze-dried food. They would quick freeze cooked food and then put it in a vacuum chamber where all the water is removed. Then the items are vacuum packed in a laminated container with a water valve at one end. And the astronauts would rehydrate it using a water gun to inject cold water into it. And then it was ready to eat. Perks of that are that they are extremely light and required no refrigeration. So the next major advancement in the quality and variety of space food came in 1973 with the Skylab program. Skylab relied on solar cells for power instead of water-producing fuel cells, so dehydrated foods were limited to conserve the water supply. Skylab had a refrigerator so frozen foods could be carried, and the space station had a full galley so the astronauts were able to cook. Now, since the International Space Station has been continuously inhabited since the year 2000, and the astronauts stay for around 6 months, they get to choose from a menu of 200 food items what they would like to bring up with them. So they get to decide what they want to eat every day. NASA has also been exploring growing food in space. In 2015, the crew of the International Space Station were the first to eat food grown in space: red romaine lettuce. The experiments are focused around food being grown as a supplementary system. So basically, the astronauts do get to eat a lot of the same food as they do on Earth. It just has to be prepared and eaten differently. Thank you for joining me for this edition of Ask Starbase. If you have a question for us, you can email us at ask@starbase-ct.com or go to our website, starbase-ct.com. Thanks. Bye.